Hello everyone, live from Adams Polishes. It's Wednesday afternoon. Sorry, it's not Saturday night, but uh, today I decided to do something a little weird. I haven't done this all too much, so it might be like a little trial and error today. See what you guys think. My car desperately needed to be washed. It's really bad right now. I actually have plans of fully doing the whole thing, like from polishing and all this stuff coming up here pretty soon. I ended up not doing it in the spring because I was so busy with my son's baseball and help coaching, but we're getting to that point now where it's driving me crazy. Uh, so I don't know if any of you saw the notification on Instagram, our story post, but you know, like we've been preaching the 2 bucket wash for a really long time. Um, I mean, ever since I started here, it was like 2 bucket wash was the way you wash your car. Now I see a lot of stuff floating around on the internet that's like, oh, you don't need 2 buckets, you just need one. And there's different methods to it. You know, some people are putting, soapy water and then they're using like 10 different microfiber towels, which can get expensive. I mean, each one of our microfiber towels are $8 to $10. So you're talking using 5 towels, you're talking $50 towel wash. Obviously, you can rewash them and stuff, but wash pads are generally a little bit more reasonable when it comes to price. You don't need as many. But there's a lot of debate between a lot of things. And so today, what I want to do is say, forget buckets. We're just going to do a no bucket wash. All right. So I have buckets around, but I'm not going to use any. I would say this process is not something you're going to do after you've gotten a car perfect. Okay. So like if you've already gone through and, fully polished the car, graphene ceramic coated it, and your car is exactly where you want it, I would still stick to a 2 bucket wash because it reduces the amount of dirt and grime that touches your car that's in the wash pad. And so, if you go through all this process to get it perfect, there's no purpose in going backwards and scratching it again, which you're just going to be disappointed. So this no bucket wash thing is something like I would do before I get into perfecting my cars, just to get my car clean, and I think for a lot of people, the paint correction and ceramic coating process is just too much for them. They're like, no, I just want my car clean. I don't care if it's ceramic coated or any of that. Like, what's the easiest way to do it? And this is one of those ways. So this is something, like I said, my car is not perfect by any means. So I'm gonna try to get away with a very fast kind of no bucket wash. That's just kind of a different way to think about it. And I think part of car care and like what we do at Adams Polishes is, there are fundamentals and there are some rules, but rules are meant to be broken. So I'm breaking those rules today. All right. So I just take it for what it's worth. This is something I've done before on my car. We used to actually have a 2-part like product in 2 different bottles. It was called Foam 01 and Seal 02. And when we were developing that, I actually used no buckets when I did that, and it would take me about 15 minutes to fully wash and seal my car. So I just thought it was kind of a cool way. It's somewhat of an alternative to like taking your car through a drive-through car wash. Like it reduces the amount of time to do this process, but it's also like not perfect. Like I said, going through a car wash, your car is not going to be great, but the difference between a car wash and here is, first off, you have to do the work. Number 2, you get to use the wash pad, so you get to touch every part of your car. So like a car wash, oftentimes, like when I've gone through, yeah, the sides look pretty good and the hood and stuff, but like the back is all dirty and nasty. So this is a way to hand wash your car, but do it quickly. And there's more things that you can do. Like I already pulled my all-weather floor mats out. If I wanted to, I could clean the engine and do some other things, but this is just like an efficient, quick wash that you can do. And I mean, I guess like realistically, like this is something you could even do if your car was mildly dirty and ceramic coated, because when you do your initial rinse, more dirt and grime is going to come off. So you don't necessarily have to go to the 2 bucket wash and do all the stuff. So just kind of take this, like I said, take it for what it's worth and apply it to however you feel it suits you. This might be something that you love and fall in love with, but I'm using kind of the features of especially like the foam cannon that I can just put a 16-ounce bottle on. So I'm not going to need to be switching around the canisters of the foam cannon. I'm going to be using the power of controlling from getting water spots by like rinsing off sections of the car, protecting it, and then like moving to different sections. So it's going to be kind of interesting. If you see any flaws in my system, comment. Like, I want you guys to trash me in the comments today. Like, whatever, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, he's an idiot, like, I'm fine with it. Okay, I don't think of car care as like this very regimented, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like, I think there's ways to get creative with it, and that's what we're kind of doing today. So
Alvin says, can we bring back the ceramic waterless wash and the Chanel wash mitt, please?
Oh yeah, ceramic waterless wash and the Chanel or Chenille wash mitt. You know, we actually, I'll be honest, yeah, like CS3 is one of those products that I would say is the most like our old ceramic waterless wash. Is very close to similarity. Performs almost the same. The only thing that's different about CS3 is it has some shine enhancement. So I would say it's actually even better. So that would be something to consider. Our Chenille wash mitt, to be honest with you, I don't know if we still have them, but we have, it's like a red like mitt that has the chenille thing to it. That is also a good option. We like to use it for cleaning wheels because it actually separates each finger, so you can like get in all the spokes and everything, but it's more designed as a wash mitt for like washing your car. So that's something to check out. I don't know if we still have that or not. I'm pretty sure we do, but I would just search around on the website to try to find it. So listen, I'm gonna kind of go through this whole process. I won't stop and talk too much. I'll address your questions, but I'll address your questions while I'm doing stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not good at not talking.
I was gonna say.
I'm gonna try.
When have you ever not?
Try my best. Actually, I was gonna float this idea by you guys watching. I was thinking about doing like a super long live video, like almost 6 hours long. But I was essentially going to set up cameras in our detail bay, have a car in, like I would prep everything first from like washing. I could even do a 2-day event. Day one would be like, it would be essentially a full detail of a car from beginning to end. And there would be no cuts. You would just kind of watch me do it. Kind of like you're standing in the background watching me. And day one would be like the washing and prepping and claying and all this stuff. And then day two would be like full paint correction and ceramic coating. And it wouldn't stop. It would run the whole time. And you could ask questions, you could do things, and I probably answer them like while I'm doing stuff because I want to make sure I finish. But let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, it would be something you could pop in and pop out and watch the live event. Or you could go back and watch it, skip through, whatever you want. But
Aaron Graybeal says, do it, I'll watch it. Chester says, do it, Joe, all caps, do it.
Okay.
Ken Wilson says, I'll bring my truck back.
There you go. Yeah. It's a long road trip, Ken. Okay, this sounds like a cool idea. I'll try to schedule that here in a couple weeks, but it might be kind of cool. If anything, we could even do it and like we could even have Tyler pop in and do some giveaways or do something fun just to make it kind of cool. But unfortunately, I'd want to do it on my car, but I want something like jacked up. Like I want like a real turnaround, not semi-perfect. Yeah, okay. So before
want a car where we can't tell what color it is when we start.
Yeah, right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm essentially gonna like rinse everything first. Okay, so I'm not gonna do it as much. This is gonna be kind of weird, but I'm not gonna do it as much of like one wheel at a time. But I'm just gonna kind of rinse everything first, then I'll start getting soap on the car so it neutralizes the water. So first thing, I'm just gonna rinse these guys off. And actually, I forgot a product. Let me just grab it really quick. Should be around here somewhere. Yeah, right here. I actually really wanted to use this. I'm gonna use some strip wash on the car, kind of as my like initial thing. Chris, I'm gonna move your water bottle over here. The one thing I would say is like, you could still have a bucket with you. You could just keep your stuff in it, but you don't necessarily need to like fill it up with water or anything for this process. I will just say really quick, one thing I did do was I have 2 wash pads. These are older wash pads. I like rinsed them off to get anything out of them first. I have Rinse Aid. I grabbed Rinse Aid. I put 3 ounces diluted into this bottle. The dilution ratio for the spray portion, instead of a foam cannon version of Rinse Aid, is 1 to 9 dilution ratio. So 1 part Rinse Aid to 9 parts water. And so this is a 26-ounce dilution bottle. So I essentially filled it up, and it requires about 3 ounces of Rinse Aid. So I filled it up to the 23-ounce mark, and then I just put Rinse Aid to fill it to the 26. So you don't use very much. I mean, when you look at this Rinse Aid bottle, I mean, it's usually filled here. So I've only used about that much of Rinse Aid. And then I have wheel and tire cleaner. This is going to be pretty useful product. I'm going to use it on all the wheels and tires, but also the floor mats. I'm going to use the strip wash as like a pre-foam. And then I'm going to use wash and wax actually as my car soap because it has protection in it. So part of what I want to do is I want to be able to clean the car, but I also want to protect it kind of all in one. And I'm going to like triple up my protection, by the way. I'm going to use wash and wax, a protective soap as my car soap. I'm going to use Rinse Aid to help dry the car. And then after I do the Rinse Aid process to actually dry the car, I have Graphene Boost and a Ultra Plus drying towel sitting in my driver's seat. And then lastly, I might not see it on video, but I will dress the tires with graphene tire dressing. So that's kind of the tools I'm working with. And then I just grabbed 3 wheel cleaning tools. For an off-road vehicle like mine with off-road tires, you know, those 3 tools are probably the easiest just to get my stuff clean. And plus the fender brush will be something I use to scrub the all-weather floor mats. So now what I'm going to do is start rinsing the car. I'll start with the wheels and tires, but the sun is kind of straight overhead, so I am very conscious of where my car is sitting in the shade because I want to start kind of rinsing that part. So I'm just going to blast off my wheels and tires at best and the fenders. Live video on hoseless wash? Okay, yeah, I can do that. I was actually talking to Bright when I was in Steamboat. He's asking me about that product. There's actually a cool process you can do with that hoseless wash. Like if your car is crazy dirty, especially in the winter, you can go to the paint spray and like use the high pressure rinse and then finish it by using the spot free rinse, then drive it home and do the hoseless wash after. So you have less, you know, crazy loose dirt and grime on the car. It makes it a little bit more, I don't know if safe, I don't like using the word safe, but like makes it so you don't scratch as easy. That makes sense. Yeah. Who said that?
Sorry.
Said what?
Is this a typical wash for a coated vehicle?
This is not a typical wash for a coated vehicle, although you can do it. But, you know, Tori, I think for me, I was kind of saying it earlier, but like...
She might have joined late.
Yeah, maybe she joined late. It doesn't matter. But, you know, ever since I worked at Adams Polishes, it's been like we've preached the 2-bucket wash for so long. It's the easiest, I mean, it's the most effective way to wash your car without scratching or with minimizing scratching, right? There's a lot of debate online, like on Reddit threads and Instagram posts, all kinds of stuff where people are like 2-bucket wash is irrelevant. It's 1-bucket wash now. And I'm like, great, 1-bucket wash. I could do that too. But I said, you know what? Nothing against buckets, but forget them. Like we're going to do no buckets today just to kind of mess around. And this is something, like I said, mainly I'm doing this on cars that have not been perfected. So like if my car this last weekend, I fully, you know, polished and ceramic coated it, I probably wouldn't be doing this process. But my car is soon to be going into that process. And so I just want my car clean. And I was saying too earlier, like, a lot of people aren't going to do the paint correction and ceramic coating process. Like, some people just, they don't care about that. They just want their car clean, right? And that's a lot of the people that take their car through the drive-through car wash. It's not always effective. Granted, it's nice to doom scroll like while your car is being pulled through the car wash, but this is something that you could do like very quickly, but more effective than a drive-through car wash. So that's kind of like my substitute for that. So if you're the kind of person that's just like, I don't know, I just want to do it quick, don't care that much, this might be a good process for that person, you know? So. So one thing I do want you to see is my paint is somewhat oxidized. It oxidizes pretty quickly in Colorado because of the sun. Not only are we very close to the sun, but also mag chloride from winter and things like that. So it is just, I mean, it is as flat as a board, you know? So I'll be curious getting into like after we're done, like how the water is going to start reacting with rinse aid on it, graphene boost, things like that. But I also suspect it might be kind of hard to see in the phone camera, but I can see like this layer of dirt. Like if I go like this, you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've already rinsed this, but I have a feeling that there's also road oil on here, which is causing it to be flat as well. And that's what the dirt is, just mixed in with that road oil. I can actually feel it in my hands. And so I need something to be able to break that down to make it easier to clean. So this initial rinse isn't doing much to get any of that road oil off, but what it is doing is getting loose dirt and grime off the best that I can. You know? So you can see, actually, Chris, come over here. As I rinse this off, you'll see like this layer of dirt come off the hood. Check this out. And I don't know, you guys may have remembered, but I actually spray coated this part right here. So you can see like where there's road oil and stuff on here, it's not doing anything on the spray coating, but here it's trying to work, but like there's something on there that, like the parts that are kind of untouched on the ceramic coating are working really good. See that? And unfortunately, my car oftentimes gets, you know, hammered with test products, things like that. So, not always perfect. We always got to have a guinea pig here at Adam Polishes. It's not perfect because you can't test products on a graphene ceramic coated vehicle. It's just, you can kind of, like more maintenance products, but so just a quick rinse to get any excess, anything off of here. I mean, I think my car would even just love to have this done to it. Let's just spray it down. I've neglected my car for so long. I'll be honest, it's been 8 straight months of competitive baseball for my son, and I'm one of the coaches, so I can't take days off to clean cars. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. So what I'm gonna do, take the tip off the pressure washer. I like to put it in my right coin pocket because I always know it's there. I'm gonna take strip wash, because strip wash will also neutralize the water when it goes on the car to essentially reduce the chance of getting water spots. And so what I want to do is stop the development of water spots now. I'm not going to hit the strip wash onto my wheels because I'm actually going to use wheel and tire. So I'm just going to put this straight onto the foam cannon, and then this top portion I'm going to turn all the way counterclockwise, because if I do that, then when I put it on and I start spraying it, it's just water, like that. But as I point this and I start turning it up, it will turn into the foam. Okay, so I don't necessarily need I don't need my canister right now. And actually, I'm gonna set my wash pads aside. I'll just put it like this. So I'm trying to avoid getting this onto the wheels and tires. So let's go. And Strip Wash is an acidic car soap, so it does a good job of breaking down like road salts. You know, if I have any old wax or sealant type of protection products on here, it will help break that down as well. But I'm hoping it will break down some of the oil and grime on here. Okay, I think that's pretty decent so far.
Should you avoid letting strip wash sit too long, and can you use it with foam? With the foam mitt. What do you mean by the foam mitt?
Yeah, I would, it's fine if it dries on the car, but I would avoid letting it, you know, you don't want it to dry on the car for like hours and hours and hours, you know? So the foam mitt, yeah, you can use it with the foam mitt. I will say this, like, this is just me personally. This is not doesn't happen to everybody, not even people here at Adams Polishes, but the yellow dye inside of Strip Wash like makes my hands hurt really bad. And so I don't use it in my bucket. I use it only as a foaming agent. And so you can absolutely use it in the bucket. You can use it as like if you're doing a pre-detail like prep work to wash the car, I recommend using Strip Wash to get any old protection, especially if you're a detailer or maybe you bought a used car new to you and you don't know what kind of protection's on the car. Strip Wash, because then you can strip off any of that stuff. But
Butch says, won't that remove coatings?
it will not remove a ceramic coating. It's actually a pretty good product for ceramic coating, like deep cleans a ceramic coating. We don't really have a product that would ever remove a ceramic coating. Like in our line, anything that's accessible to a human being, consumer level, we don't.
You mean in a chemical?
In a chemical, yeah. I mean, the only way to really remove a ceramic coating, especially graphene, is to polish it off, okay? So I switched to the wheel and tire cleaner now into the foam cannon top, and I'm gonna foam this onto my all-weather floor mats. Same thing, yeah. And I'm gonna foam it onto my wheel and into the fender on all of them. Like so. Okay, take this off.
You worried about drying on the tires?
Wheel and tire cleaner? Yeah, I mean, kind of, but because I'm working so fast, it's never gonna dry onto the surface. So now what I'll do is I'm just gonna get my brushes a little wet, like this. Okay. And I'll take my fender brush. scrub these down.
Ken Wilson says, do you recommend doing a foam and rinse with strip wash, then bucket wash with graphene shampoo before ceramic coating the vehicle?
Say that again?
Do you recommend doing a foam and rinse with strip wash, and then do you recommend doing a foam and rinse with strip wash and bucket wash with graphene shampoo before ceramic coating the vehicle?
That's a good question. I would say yes. The only thing I would tell you to do different is to not use graphene shampoo as your wash part of it. I would use just standard car shampoo before you go into the actual ceramic coating process. Yeah. And if anything, like if your car isn't like too bumpy, meaning like it has bonded contamination on it, then I would, if it is a little bumpy, then I would, foam it with strip wash, rinse it off, foam it again with regular car shampoo, wash the car, rinse it off, foam it again, do the clay mitt, then rinse it off, and then pull it inside, dry it, and then get into the like polishing and ceramic coating stuff.
A lot of people are getting their mind blown by putting a wheel and tire cleaner in the front end.
Yeah, right? Well, what's funny is the guys in Anaheim, they use it out of the foam IK sprayer. And, the fact that it foams up means that you can use it in the foam cannon. So I was like, I'm just going to do that. It's the thing about it, though, that I don't love is that it kind of dilutes the product. And the foaming aspect to it doesn't make it as effective on the tires. Like, you kind of want it full strength on there. And so
would you say that you wouldn't like use it out of a foam cannon if the wheels and tires were extremely dirty?
Yeah, I mean, mine are extremely dirty. Like, I'm considering switching to the sprayer and just doing these like one more time. But my wheels and tires need to be like fully gone through. But you can see, like, it's not. Well, usually when you spray wheel and tire cleaner on it, they turn brownish, orangish, and it's not doing that with these. It just, the foaming aspect kind of takes its ability away to do that, but it will still be somewhat effective. And just remember, like, the whole purpose of this, what I'm doing today, is to be quick, fast, efficient. This isn't like what you do before you would go polish and ceramic coat a vehicle,
Dan says, just make sure to rinse out the foam cannon with water afterwards. Do not let it dry up and clog the barrel of the foam cannon.
Yeah. I mean, you should run it through water anyways. It's just a matter of like taking the canister, maybe rinsing it out, put water in it, and then, running the water through the straw and the foam cannon mechanism itself.
Probably a good practice whenever you use, right?
Yeah, I mean, probably the soap more so is gonna dry up.
Yeah.
We're breaking rules today, baby.
This is the quick and dirty detail.
Yeah.
Not quick and dirty, the quick detail.
Quick and clean detail, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
How are those knees feeling?
No, it's my wrist. I'm like, dude, my forearm is barking at me. I like doing different stuff now and again. I'm sure Dan's losing his mind today.
I'm so confused right now.
You should be, Chester. You should be very confused. Yeah, Chester, I was kind of talking about it in the beginning. I don't know if he was here in the beginning, but this is very like fast, quick. This is like almost in replacement of like taking it through a drive-through car wash where you can like get this done really quick, but you can still be more effective because you get to touch the rest of the car as like a hand wash. But if we hit this, and like I said, like my car's not perfect, right? So
Yeah, like a car with a pristine finish, you probably shouldn't use it.
yeah, unless you're not worried about it, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're not too worried about it. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rinse the whole car, then we'll re-foam it. Hold my wash pads again so I don't blow them off the car. Oh yeah. That wheel needs to be gone through bad, but that one looks great actually. Surprised. Came out pretty good. The other thing I would say you can do as well, like especially if you have road oil on the car, like my car has, you know, the strip wash is a good option, but if you don't have strip wash and you have all-purpose cleaner, you could throw like 3 or 4 capfuls of all-purpose cleaner into your car shampoo mixture, and that's a degreasing product, so that can actually turn into kind of a degreasing form of a shampoo by just adding some of the all-purpose cleaner in there. We used to do that all the time. That was like before strip wash existed. That's what we would do to use as a strip wash. Sorry, Chris. Were you gonna say something?
Foam cannon into your bucket.
Both. Either, like, I would say like 2 capfuls into your foam cannon with like car shampoo mixture, and like 3 capfuls into your bucket to use as your wash. But like I was saying, like I'm trying to use the deep cleaning power of strip wash not as my standard car soap, so I just use it in the foam cannon. So you could start with it like that, you know, and then use regular car shampoo, which I'm gonna get to. Well, I'm using wash and wax here in a second. Yeah, see, I think I might need wheel and tire cleaner at full strength on the front wheels, because, and that's, I could do that before I start foaming it on, but they just, your front wheels are gonna get more brake dust on them. That's like where a lot of the brake, your rear your rear brakes aren't used as frequent as your front brakes when you're stopping, because you're not driving down the highway going backwards, right? So let me just rinse these off. I'm gonna have to hit that driver's side one again. It's very dirty. Now, take the tip off again. I'm gonna set this down, and I'm gonna go straight into my, as my grandma would say, wash and wax. Okay. And I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. One thing I am gonna do, I'm gonna set the wash pads onto my car now, okay? And actually, I'm gonna just give them a little hit of water just to get some moisture in there, okay? Got my wash and wax on here. We'll run the water through a little bit because we were using the other products. And I'm gonna start pulling this up. There we go. And I'm gonna foam the car. I'm actually gonna start on this side because it's more in the sun. Have a little bit of cloud cover today, so it's kind of ideal. And we'll foam the car. I'm gonna hit the wheels again too. Hit the back. And the reason why I put the wash pads on my windshield is because I'm gonna foam right over the top of them. Like this. Put a little more emphasis on them. Like that. And then I'm gonna flip them over. And so the reason why I have two wash pads is I'm going to use one for the passenger side, one for the driver's side. Okay, so keep foaming the car. Yeah. Yes, we are. We are braking. Dude, you know what? Sounds like Anton slept in.
Anton says, have you done the drinking dance?
Okay, there we go, foamed. Now, I will set this aside. Okay, and what I am gonna do is get my pressure washer tip and get this on here ready to go. So I know this is ready to rinse. So I'll set this over here. And like I said, I'm gonna take one of the wash pads, put it on this side, and I'll have the other one for this side. So what I'm gonna do is essentially 1/4 of the car I'll dedicate to one side of the wash pad, the other quarter of the car I'll dedicate to the other side of the wash pad. So we take this and we start doing this quarter, and I am starting kind of from top to bottom. And I'm not gonna cross this split line that I have kind of made up in my mind. One thing you'll notice about me, I'm not the cleanest detailer. Like, whenever I'm washing, I always have foam all over me. It just, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just too careless. But
Mike says, Joe, what does Wash and Wax offer over the standard shampoo?
so Wash and Wax is interesting. It's the only time in our company's history that we like lied to people. Right? That probably sounds pretty bad, but Wash and Wax it's like a standard car soap. But the cool thing about it is, you know, people wanted a wash and wax, and I think the wax part of it implies that it's going to protect your car. And so instead of going with the norm of putting wax in it, which the wax isn't really going to do anything to your car, especially when it's mixed into a car soap and foamed on, we added SiO2 or silica, the same stuff that's in CS3. And so what it does is when you use it on your car, it actually will put some SiO2 or silica protection on your car while you wash it. And that's partially why I'm using it right now, because it's actually still a really great car soap. But I'm kind of adding protection to it while I wash, and then I can like double it up by then using like Rinse Aid, and then I'm even going to use Graphene Boost at the very end to like fully dry the car. So I'm just kind of tripling up on like less concentrated versions of protection, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I have this half. You can see because of the strip wash and the first rinse, it's not that dirty, right? So like I'm not overly worried about it. So I'm gonna throw it into a bucket, and then I'm gonna go to this side and do the same thing. And the one thing you can do, like, especially, you know, we're lucky today because there's some cloud cover. Like if the car started to, like some of the soap starting to dry on this side of the car and the wash pad doesn't feel like it's loaded enough with the suds and everything, what I can do is, I'll show you really quick. What you can also do is, like, you could just set this on here again and grab your soap again and just like quickly hit it.
Stacy says, does the roof get no love?
The roof will get some love. I'll be honest, I'm bad about that. But I usually do it. So I'll just hit this again. Because the reason why I'm doing that again is because I want the lubrication for my wash pad to glide. You know, I don't want it not to glide. And so that's the main reason why I just did that again.
Should have made the title of this Breaking the Rules.
Yeah, pretty much. We're not breaking every rule. We're still using the lubrication that the wash and wax provides, you know.
Yeah, you're still flipping the pad and using a second pad so you're not rubbing too much dirt back into the finish.
Yeah, and like we did a pre-rinse, we did a pre-foam. You know, we added maybe a couple steps, but you know, not having to necessarily go back to the bucket over and over and over again is really the different part that we're doing.
Stacy has a solution for you getting foam all over yourself.
Okay.
She says, I usually wash in my swimming suit.
Well, you know what, Stacy? I don't think my neighbors would appreciate that, and my coworkers. Okay.
Yeah, maybe not on the live, unless you get like one of those water shirts.
Maybe if I do like 75 hard for 6 years, then maybe I'll do it.
Tune in next year for the Ultra Buff Joe.
I might be a detailing specimen, but not like a male specimen. You know what I mean? Like.
Jessica says, this is kind of how I do the paint spray.
Yeah, exactly. It's very similar because you're limited in resources at the paint spray, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's like kind of similar, I would say.
Ken Wilson, I'm jealous. I wish I could wash my truck at work and get paid while I do it.
Right? Just, Ken, don't tell him I did this. Say I used someone else's car. Well, now I know I need to polish my roof. It's very oxidized. Just jump up here really quick. Okay. Dude, I don't know who said it, but now I have the chicken dance stuck in my...
I think it was Anton.
And earlier, it was Yankee Doodle because Tyler was singing it.
Where did you get that from?
I don't know, but maybe we can make a Yankee Doodle and chicken dance mashup.
That was the first mashup ever.
Okay. That's pretty good. Like that. All right, so I'll just throw this. There's like a dirty bucket over here, so I'm just kind of setting it aside like that. Now, we get to go into the rinse aid process. And I had talked about it earlier, but I have it, the rinse aid diluted into some water right here. Okay, so what I do want to do though, hi Patty, hola, is here's the thing about rinse aid, all right? Although rinse aid is a really, really cool product, what it won't do is eliminate the chance from getting water spots. Okay, so if I go and just do rinse aid on the whole car and it's like a hot day, then I run the risk of doing rinse aid around the whole car, and I get back here and boom, water spots have developed. So one of the things I really try to do is get the water off the car as fast as possible while I do the rinse aid process, and putting it in the spray form really gives you the ability to do that. You can do it out of the foam cannon too, but essentially what I'm going to do now is work a process with rinse aid and graphene boost all together. There we go. So I put my rinse aid in my holster, which is just my pocket. Okay, I have my pressure washer.
You mean your boost?
Yeah. Oh, I said rinse aid. Yeah, my boost. And so now what I can do is I'll go like this, okay? I'm gonna portion off like this, and I'm aimed, it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna try to not rinse off the rest of the car, just this back section right here. I'm gonna go like this. It is okay to let the car, we use wash and wax, so yeah, it's okay to let the wash and wax dry on the car. So we go like that, okay? So I didn't rinse this part, I just rinsed that. Now I'm gonna take my rinse aid.
Your diluted rinse aid.
Diluted rinse aid. Spray it on here. Not sure I love this sprayer. Oh. I guess that's about what I can do. You let it sit for about 10 seconds, I would say. Okay, I'm gonna rinse it off and then check out what I do next, okay? So rinse off. So now we've gotten the road oil off. We added rinse aid, so now it's somewhat hydrophobic, but if I leave this and keep doing the car, this is gonna be water spotted. Okay, so I'm gonna set my rinse aid aside and my pressure washer. I'm gonna take the boost, and because there's water on here, I'm gonna dilute the boost onto the car with the water that's on there. I don't need a lot, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I take my Ultra Plush, and then I just dry this section off.
Would you do this if it was a really hot day in direct sun?
I would do this in direct sun on a hot day, but I would work in smaller sections pretty much, trying to avoid water spots and the protection drying on the car too fast. So boom, you can see, like, we do have a lot of issues with graphene boost, like drying and streaking on the surface. But when you do it with water on the car, it doesn't do it. It made it nice, and it's like even more protected, but I'm kind of using it as well as a lubricating drying aid to let the towel glide on the surface while I dry it. So I'll set my drying towel aside, have my rinse aid again. So now instead of aiming this way, I'm gonna aim that way. Okay, so if I overlap a little, no big deal. So we're gonna rinse this portion off. I might even do this door too. that. Then we'll take our rinse aid. Like so. Wait for a minute, not a minute, 10 seconds. And then, boom. Okay.
Big old dog says, what is the rinse aid doing for you?
The rinse aid's adding hydrophobic protection to make cleaning my car easier the next time. And I'm kind of doubling it up with Boost, but the Wash and Wax has SI2 in it, so the rinse aid is actually working together with the Wash and Wax with the protection that was left on there from washing. And then I'm even bolstering it more with Graphene Boost. Just spray it on. Go like this. And dry that off. So I did overlap, so I'm just gonna make sure that that's all dry again. And then keep going. Like this. And I tend to, like, when I'm using the Boost this way, I tend to try to clean the glass portion first. So I make sure there's no streaks, and then I can move on to kind of the rest of the car to dry it. Like that. Oh, that looks pretty good, gotta be honest. I'm not upset about that at all. I mean, it's nice that the car is clean, but like, before I jump off of here, I'll show you the effect that like Boost is also giving it. Like, it's good to let it cure for a minute. So while I go through and do this whole process, I will, before I jump off of the live, I'll make sure and show you guys like what the Boost is providing as well. Boost, you know, I would say that as far as products that, a product that isn't a true ceramic coating, like polystyrene in the small glass bottle, or, you know, the graphene spray coating, Boost provides the best hydrophobic protection as far as a water-based, you know, form of ceramic. And so that's partially why I'm using it to help with that. But gosh, it's not quite done yet, but like once it's fully cured, it will feel even better. I frequently use the clay mitt on my car, and so it doesn't ever feel like bumpy to me, because I've just made a point of doing that kind of like, I'm going to be doing that here in a couple months, because my oil change process is coming up here pretty soon. So I have about 1,500 miles until my next oil change. So before every oil change, I clay the car and I also clean the engine. So I'm just gonna keep going. Might as well just do all of this. That. Rinse aid. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think too. You know, this is something I've done before. I've done it a little bit different. The foam and Foam 01 and Seal 02 were really like the process I used to do like this. It's a little bit different. But I'm curious what you guys think of this rogue style of. I was feeling rebellious today, Chris. I'm like,
Marco says, I'm getting my paint on surface, and then I'm going to ceramic coat it. In the meantime, how should I protect my paint? With a spray wax, maybe?
no, spray wax doesn't do anything. I mean, it makes it look nice, but it doesn't last for anything, you know? So I would almost say like Slick and Slide would be a good one. Maybe even like CS3 has a little bit of SiO2 in it, but those don't last nearly as long. So I would say probably like Slick and Slide. Slick and Slide would be less, probably like a month's worth of protection. And the CS3 would be like maybe a little bit longer than that, but not really. And they're really easy to use, so you don't have to go through this big elongated process of applying protection. It's just like spray it on and wipe it off. Wow. Oh my gosh. All right, Rinse Aid. Dude, Rinse Aid showed up to play today, baby. I love that. Rinse Aid's batting 1,000 right now. That's crazy. It was like perfectly flat when we started.
It was 100% flat.
Yeah. Heads up, Chris. I just want to hit this one more time. Even on the windshield, it's looking pretty good. Okay. Set that aside. Get my drying towel.
David Boyce, what do you have against buckets?
Hey, listen, I don't have anything against buckets, but David said that. Think about it, David. I like breaking the rules every here and there. I think too, this is just more of like, for me, sometimes like challenging the norm is like a good practice to do. I think what it challenges the way we think about car care, you know, and when we do that, what it allows us, it expands our minds a little bit to maybe open ourselves to new processes that make your guys' lives easier, you know? So if we can come up with processes that make the whole detailing process more efficient, that's really what I think most people are looking for, is like a super effective way to get your car clean or get it looking perfect without having to spend, you know, 3 days going through this elongated process of like polishing and ceramic coating and all that stuff, you know? So I think sometimes it's like good practice for us to challenge our ways of thinking, because I think, you know, you either innovate or die, and innovate can be everything from innovating the process, it could be innovating your products, you know, but I think part of what we want to do is make sure we provide every solution for like every person, you know, and there's a lot of people out there that probably more than, this might be shocking to you guys, but there's probably more people out there that don't want to spend a whole day washing their car. They want to spend 10 minutes. And so if we can design and create a cool process, maybe that can be a solution. Actually, Chris, I'm going to do this really quick. I'm going to rinse off the wheel and tire. I'm going to do Rinse Aid on my wheel.
Puzzled Outlaw says, I'm having trouble cleaning my mud tires with fire and rubber cleaner. The tires still have browning. Any advice?
Say that again.
Mud tires with tire and rubber cleaner, they still have browning.
Oh. Cleaning your mud tires with tire and rubber cleaner. The one thing I would say, Chris can show you on that stool, but like wheel and tire cleaner is going to be more effective at pulling the browning out of them. So I would tell you to, whatever you're cleaning the wheels with, you could probably stick to that, but use that product to clean the tires. If that makes sense. Those I'm not necessarily going to use Boost. It definitely helped. Well, this side looks good, Chris. I don't know, what do you think? It looks better than it did.
Looks great.
One of my favorite things is cleaning my car and then like on my drive home, like looking through all the windows, it's like perfectly crisp and clean. There's just something about that. Which one do I need? This one. I need to get a new grill for my car. This is like this car is a work in progress. It's not even close to being perfect, but okay. My drying towel is getting a little overloaded.
Headlights are already starting to yellow again, Jeff.
You see that? It's Colorado for you.
Lots of UV.
I'd be curious what elevation Anton's at, like -3.
Puzzle Outlaw says, how, excuse me, can I use wheel and tire cleaner on my chrome wheels as well?
If they're clear coated, then yes, which most chrome is clear coated anyways. So yeah, I would say yes, but if they're like raw, like billet aluminum, then I would say no. You know, for more, not to say that these are, but for more like delicate wheel surfaces, the Eco Wheel cleaner is good. But you know, I think I would recommend like rinsing them off first. Don't spray the product directly on there. And you should be fine. If anything, you could also take the wheel and tire cleaner and like dilute it down, like cut it like 50-50. It won't be as effective, but it will still work pretty good. Dan could also probably respond to that a little bit more, but yeah, chrome plated wheels are generally like clear coated, so it doesn't matter that much. The one thing I will say, and I always make this mistake, is I will start rinsing the roof and then it ends up coming to this side that I already dried. And so because I moved on to the other side already, I'm actually gonna blast the soap and rinse the roof off to go over to the other side. Okay, love that. Got some on the windshield. I'll have to, I'll just rinse it off now. Dude, look at that. Oh my God. I might need to run and find another drying towel. This is gonna start streaking a little bit. That's the one thing about this process is like you might need a couple drying towels for this because you end up drying the car off when it has like a ton of water on it versus like if you do the process where you know, you're using like the air cannon and then drying with like detail spray and stuff, you're not going to have as much water in your towel as you go through the whole thing. Okay. Let me just see if I can find a drying towel really quick, Chris. Shouldn't take me very long. I don't have one. I'm just gonna have to make do. That's all right. Chris, will you grab the boost that's over there? The one thing I will say too, this is somewhat important, is that like if you spray rinse aid onto a car that there's still foam on it, the rinse aid will get encapsulated by the surfactants in the foam and it will take it with it. It makes it not effective. So you want to make sure when you do your rinse, before you do rinse aid, that you get all the soap off first. Okay. If my car could give me a hug, it probably would be doing so right now. It's needed this for so long, but I am going to get into the full process here pretty soon. So. I do love the rinse aid product, but I like it paired with other things. So like if you can see where Chris is showing you, like when I spray it, still in the middle, it's a little bit sheeting in here. Do you see that?
It's still way improved over
It's
before,
much
though.
improved, but it's like my paint's oxidized. And so part of what I'm doing is filling in the oxidation pores, you know, with the rinse aid and the boost. But what I was going to show you, I'll show you that here in a second, but like it paired with boost is just like a different thing, because boost, it's like essentially what I'm doing chemistry wise on like a molecular level is like I'm using rinse aid as this foundation, and it's allowing the boost to like adhere even better. So they're kind of working together to create this like form of protection that works really good.
Anton says, Joe, still on the 70s score journey?
On the, you know, Anton, I haven't played recently. Anton's talking about golf. Yeah, he's It might have been the last time. Anton and I message every so often on Facebook Messenger or whatever you want to call it, Meta Messenger. And Anton's a golfer like I am. So sometimes him and I will head down the rabbit hole, which is what I like to call it. And I think the last time I talked to you, Anton, I shot 78. I'm hoping to play again soon and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I kind of sit at like, I'd say like, I'm like at 80, from like 76 to 82 is kind of like depending on the day, how I'm feeling, you know, if I eat my Wheaties, it all kind of depends on on those factors, I guess you could say. Trying to get better though, Anton. Like my thing is short game from like 50 yards and in. It's like chipping to eliminate 2 putts, you know, eliminating 2 putts altogether. That's what I need to work on. But I will say, Anton, my Mizuno MP33s, I love them, so I will never get rid of those clubs ever. I'll never go back to a modern set of clubs. Maybe when I'm like 85. Oh, did I just do the wrong thing? I think I did. Well, let's see if Boost works as rinse aid because I just did that. All right. And not really. Sometimes it does. Okay, I need the rinse aid, not the Boost. I'm getting way ahead of myself. I'm almost done is why. I'm like,
It's good because it's starting to rain.
yeah, it's starting to rain here, so good. Good for us, huh?
Just when you're all clean, no water spots.
This is the ultimate rain dance. I'm telling you, dude. There's not a time when I
Yeah.
clean my car. All right. There we go. I'll save the back for like after we're done with the live. I do want to. Are we way past an hour, Chris?
2:15.
2:15. All right. Okay. Let me just dry this portion off. I'm just gonna run over to the other side where we've already done all this stuff and it's been sitting for a second. And I wanna show you guys the water behavior on that side with, you know, the mixture of wash and wax, Boost, and rinse aid all working together. We kind of got a glimpse of it on the windshield when I accidentally hit that with some of the water, but I do want you guys to see it. I'll leave this over here. But let's head over here so you guys can see after it's kind of cured a little bit. This is the section we started on back here. Let me know when you're ready, Chris.
Good.
Good? Okay. So let's see. So ridiculous. You know, so the boost bolstering the wash and wax and rinse it all together. I mean, I would almost say that is very close to almost being ceramic coated, right? Which we did use ceramic, a form of ceramic, right? We used a form of ceramic, but not like the polystyrene in the little bottle or the spray coating. And so, you know, that's why I was kind of saying earlier, like rinse aid is amazing, but when you bolster it with like graphene boost or graphene detail spray, it just, together they perform better. 2 is better than 1, you know? It's like, that's just kind of the way it is. Sometimes it's not all the time, but it does work really, really good. So there you go. That's my no bucket wash. I hope it was interesting at least, you know, not to say that it's like the perfect way to do things, but You know, I think part of what I'm doing is I'm trying to take my knowledge of the understanding of our formulas and then using them in a different way. So instead of just being so regimented, which I think everyone should have a routine that they love because they're going to do it more often, but sometimes rules are meant to be broken. So, you know, like we said, we've preached the 2-bucket wash for a long time. There's people that say, you're an idiot if you do 2-bucket wash. Great. I'm not going to shame anybody for washing how they want to wash their car. So, you know, 2-bucket wash, 1-bucket wash, no bucket wash, as long as you get your car clean and it looks great, you're doing it right. You know, so I hope that this was interesting and helpful. And if anything, it can create even like an efficient system to like quickly get your car done if you're like headed out to go out on the town or go to a concert or do something, you know, but just like a fast, quick way where you are using the power of a car soap with foam. You're not necessarily just waterless washing it, you know. So yeah. And you know, I think the other thing about waterless washing is that you can't necessarily clean your wheels. You can wipe them down with waterless wash, but you can't fully clean the brake dust with like a product or get the browning off of the tires. And so being able to foam the wheel and tire cleaner onto my tires and get them clean quickly was nice, you know. And it might seem like it took longer than you would think. Probably if I wasn't talking to anybody and I was just going through this, about 30 minutes I would say it would take me. If I forgot about the wheels and everything and all the other stuff, like the floor mats, probably call it like 15 minutes with just like a rinse, a foam, a wash, and then a seal, you know. So yeah, I hope it was interesting. But again, if you guys have suggestions for more live videos, put them in the comments. You can put them in the comments even after it gets posted to YouTube. You can also email me topics as well if you want to stay more anonymous, but it's just joe@adamspolishes.com is my email. So, you know, I talked about it earlier. We've floated the idea of doing a very, very long live video where we do the full process from beginning to end of like, the car needs to be prepped before polishing, and then it needs polished and then ceramic coated. And we won't cut the cameras, just change camera angles. And, you know, I might talk a little bit, maybe not too much, but you can just kind of watch it all happen. And people seem to take to that idea. So maybe we'll do that here in a couple weeks, but we'll make sure to put it out on our socials that we're going to do that. So, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. And again, if you have questions, just hit me up. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.